Welcome to another edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. Once again, I'm doing a variety of different character voices because it's a new year. Well, I can't come up with a better excuse right now. Here's the lineup for this week. The news, of course, Community Bulletin Board, and 55 Plus News. Then some commentary. That's the show. Now here's the social media reminder. You can watch us on YouTube at Arlington Weekly News and the number 1, also on Facebook, and you can listen on the radio at WERA 96.7 FM. Now, on to the news.
As of Sunday evening, January 3rd, reports show the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Arlington had reached 9,250. Regular viewers and listeners will note the intensified increase in our reported case numbers. Elsewhere, on January 1st, Virginia's hands-free law took effect. That means it is now illegal to drive while holding any personal communications device in Arlington or anywhere in Virginia. The regulation was signed into law by Governor Ralph Northam during the summer of 2020. Police will now be able to pull over drivers who are seen to be holding cell phones. Previously, only texting or emailing while driving was against the law. However, effective January 1st, 2021, drivers can talk hands-free, but if caught holding a phone, they face fines of $125 for a first offense and $250 for a second offense. The higher penalty also applies if drivers are holding phones in a construction zone. According to Governor Northam, there were 23,000 crashes in Virginia attributed to distracted driving during the year 2019. Resulting in 120 deaths. It will be interesting to see how drivers from out of state react to enforcement. Meanwhile, a potentially rabid raccoon with a reported taste for human flesh is on the loose in the Donaldson Run neighborhood. The raccoon bit a person on the 4200 block of 25th Street North, 2 blocks from Taylor Elementary School, according to Animal Welfare League of Arlington. The animal ran off and has not been located. 2 other raccoons with rabies-like symptoms have been removed from the neighborhood by animal control officers over the past month. Arlington residents, particularly those in the Donaldson Run area, are being encouraged to remain vigilant. Arlington County Animal Control released a statement. And we quote, "If you or your pet may have come into contact with any wild animals, including bats or raccoons, please call Arlington County Animal Control at 703-931-9241 immediately. After hours, please stay on the line to speak with an answering service who will alert an officer. If you see a raccoon that appears sick, lethargic, disoriented, or aggressive, do not approach the animal. Instead, call Animal Control immediately. 703-931-9241. End quote. Some good news. The Arlington County Police Department had been seeking the public's assistance locating a missing woman. Amanda Aniston, 31, had last been in contact with her family on December 12, 2020. We are happy to report that Ms. Aniston has been safely located. Our next story is about starting the new year with a bang. The Arlington County Police Department's Homicide and Robbery Unit is investigating the discharge of a firearm which occurred in the Roslyn area on the morning of January 1st, 2021. At approximately 1:48 a.m., police were dispatched to the report of a person with a gun in the 1500 block of Clarendon Boulevard. While police were traveling to the location, a lookout for the suspect was broadcast, and officers observed the suspect on the sidewalk holding a firearm as they arrived on the scene. The suspect was compliant and was taken into custody without incident. The investigation determined that the complainant was in their hotel room when they heard gunshots outside. Upon looking outside, they observed the suspect pointing a firearm upwards towards their window. The suspect then entered their vehicle, retrieved a second firearm, and was observed by the victim pointing it upwards again. There were no injuries and no reported damage to property. Moses Jerry, 38, of Weedsport, New York, was arrested and charged with discharge of a firearm in a public place, 2 counts, discharge of a firearm in or across a road, 2 counts, brandishing a firearm, 2 counts, reckless handling of a firearm, and drunk in public. He is being held without bond. Meanwhile, there were fireworks and other loud noises in various locations in the county, apparently associated with New Year's celebrations. As of this recording, there are no police reports of complaints. This story may make Arlington appear to be somewhat less than a gun-friendly community, but there is a much earlier story from Louisiana involving the now legendary trumpet player Louis Armstrong. Borrowing his stepfather's gun without permission, the 11-year-old Armstrong fired a blank into the air and was arrested on December 31st, 1912. He spent the night at the New Orleans Juvenile Court, then was sentenced the next day to detention at an institution known as, and we quote, the Colored Waifs' Home, unquote. He remained there until June 14th, 1914. That's quite a lot of time to spend in lockup for discharging a blank. Finally, some good news from Opera Nova. There is going to be a seniors concert, and it will be online. As of this broadcast, this concert is scheduled to be released on January 25th, 2021. The best way to describe Opera Nova is to say that it is a service organization that, through the arts, serves the community. Its roots go back to 1962, when civic activists established Opera Theater of Northern Virginia. It has always been based in Arlington, which they believe developed a certain level of civic refinement and urbanity. From then onward, having this cultural gem defined Arlington, giving it a certain charm and a rising sense of sophistication. In 1970, Catherine Filene Shoes, founder of Wolf Trap National Park for the Performing Arts, tapped the Young Opera Theater to implement her vision to make opera a universal arts educational experience for all young children. She started with the public school students. In the spirit of universal access, Opera Nova has included students from public, private, religious, and home schools. Since 1973, Opera Nova has introduced 55,000 children to opera. For the first time in 49 years, Opera Nova will offer an online entertainment in lieu of their annual theater production for children. That's the news. Now it's time for Community Bulletin Board, or CBB.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. Our first activity is from the Never Too Old Book Club. Their motto is, because you're never too old to enjoy YA. That means young adult fiction. This time, they will be discussing The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. They will be meeting via Zoom. Registration is required to participate. Within 24 hours before the meeting, you will receive instructions for joining the Zoom meeting. A Zoom account is not required to join, but you will need a microphone. For more information, contact Deborah at lib-aurora-hills@arlingtonva.us. That's coming up on Tuesday, January 19th from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. This is a free event. Next up, Arlington's annual Paint, Build, Create event will take place virtually this year. Participants of all ages can experience 10 different activity videos focused on science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Most activities use recycled or common household items so you can learn, grow, and play in the comfort of your own home. Join the fun on Saturday, January 16th from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. on Facebook Live. For more information, call Emily Braxton at 703-228-4773. This is another free event. Next up is something called What's Living Under the Ice? It's an event for families. Have you ever wondered what happens to animals when the water in ponds and lakes freezes? Well, you can join a naturalist as we talk about and learn what really happens under the ice. For more information, call 703-228-6535, and they will email you a link to Microsoft Teams before the program start time. Naturally, you'll want to have your device ready to go before the program actually starts. Registration is required. You can register online or call 703-228-4747 and mention activity number 622951-S. That's on Sunday, January 17th from 10 o'clock to 10:30 a.m. And yes, this is another free event. Finally, in CBB, Arlington's annual tribute to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is virtual in 2021. Join up for a free online event where you can choose what you want to see and when you want to see it. From music and dance to spoken word and community dialogues, there will be something for everyone. You can help to carry on Dr. King's legacy by remembering our history and joining in a call to shape the future. That's on Sunday, January 17th from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. And naturally, this is a free event. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. This is about safely selling your home during COVID-19. You think you might want to sell your home now or later on? You want to know how you can get the best return on your investment, the one that is your home? Here's a chance to learn how technology helps realtors show your home virtually and how COVID-19 has affected the housing market in Arlington. Register online or call 703-228-4747. Mention activity number 912401-3. That's on Thursday, January 14th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. 55 Plus membership is required. Next up, yes, there's another chance to get out and about with Aurora Hills Fast Forwards Club. Join a morning walk group at a faster pace. Now they walk a 2 to 3 mile loop, and it does include some hills, so be ready. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. That's activity number 912201-16. And and it's coming up on Friday, January 15th from 9 o'clock to 10:30 a.m. at Aurora Hills Community Center, 735 18th Street South. But 55 plus membership is required. Next up, are you game for game night? I didn't make that up, they put it in the text. Anyway, join in for a game of Who Am I with friends old and new. The way the game works is you use yes or no questions to guess the identity of a famous person. The suspense builds quickly as players zero in on that person's identity. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. Activity number is 912601-5. That's coming up on Friday, January 15th from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. and 55 plus membership is required. Finally, 55 Plus Live is a new talk show and a great way to stay up to date with the 55 plus programs. You can enjoy previews of entertainment, demonstrations, seminars, and other great programs you'd usually find in person at the community centers. You won't want to miss this opportunity to catch up. Just register online or call 703-228-4747 and mention activity number 912801-9. That's on Tuesday, January 19th from 12 noon to 1 p.m. 55 plus membership is required. Anyway, that's about all I got for 55 plus news. But I think we're going to have some commentary, so let's see what that is.
To follow up on last week's commentary, the unfortunate new requirement of 55 plus membership is continuing, including eligibility to participate in the Fast Forwards walking event. Again, this raises the question of enforcement of the membership requirement. If someone happens to innocently show up at the Aurora Hills Community Center and is still there at the 9 o'clock a.m. starting time, will they be required to show proof of 55 plus membership to join in the walk? If they don't have their proof with them, or if they are only 53 years old, will they be required to walk 10 paces behind the authorized members? Will they simply be chased away? What is the point and purpose of requiring a paid membership for the ability to take a walk on a public route? After many years of companies offering a try before you buy approach, the 55 plus membership requirement seems like a buy before you try arrangement. Imagine having to purchase a car before taking a test drive, or having to buy a garment before being allowed to enter the fitting room. If these examples seem a bit extreme, consider that the membership requirement is for a full year, even when that first event lasts only 1 to 1.5 hours. It will be interesting to see the reaction of the public as this new requirement becomes more widely known. Now, as we move into a new year, let's pause to remember something from an earlier year. Here's Rich Massobny interviewing our original producer, Don Hammond, in 2015.
This perhaps is a great interview for me because I'm talking to the guy who hired me maybe about 30 years ago, and he's been the executive producer of the Arlington Weekly News, Don Hammond. How many years has it been, Don?
Well, I would say 81. You do the subtraction. 34 years, is it?
Something like that.
Yeah, right.
You know, I dare say, knowing something about television around town and all, whether the commercial stations or access as we are, you have probably been around this longer than anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I imagine so.
Yeah.
Until someone else claims better.
That's right. That's right. It's. I'm curious. How did you get started, and why did you get started in doing? Was it always the Arlington Weekly News, or was it something else in there?
Well, when we first started out in '81, we got our show and the news in Spanish were taped together.
Oh.
And PAC TV was the organization, just a citizens organization.
Yeah.
That promoted public access. Originated two of those shows. We taped them both on the same night with the same technical crew.
Really?
And so on, right? And we did that for until we got into the 3-camera situation over in George Mason Metro Campus.
Yeah. And then we moved into this building here. How many years ago do we guess?
Well, that's been about 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, that long. We don't really know exactly how many people are watching our shows. We're on Channel 69, Comcast 69, and also Fios, Verizon, Channel 38. And we're on Thursday nights at 6 o'clock, and we're repeated Saturday morning at 10:30, and then the next Monday night at 8:30 p.m.
Sometimes I understand they show us at 3 in the morning, too.
That's what I understand. Yeah, that's what I understand. I haven't seen it, but it probably is the case. They have something to fill in. What does it take, Don, in these times to produce a show? I have a pretty good idea being around you and around the crew and all that, but you've got a crew that's been working with you and us for some time.
Yeah, that's correct. Well, that's what we rely on, don't we?
Yes.
We couldn't do it without the help of a dozen other people who you don't see on camera generally.
And there's so many talented people. For example, behind camera right now, taking a picture of us, is Bill Calder. He's been with CBS and all that, so he's an experienced guy. And then there's, I can't name them all, but there's Hef Munson.
Right.
He's directed the show sometime around here, and I know there's a lot of talent because I had a little stint on not for long, a few months on Channel 9, and be honest with you, I mean I don't know what they showed that's so greater than what we do.
Right.
This is what changes have you seen over the years,
Well, on the technical side, we started out originally with 3/4 inch, they called it U-matic tape.
Okay.
Which I think it was generally used by industry mainly. Back in 1981, there weren't any tape machines were just coming into being. Remember beta tape?
Sure.
Those were just coming into being at those times. So then we switched, when we came into this studio, we switched to what they call beta SP.
Oh, okay.
So it was a 1/2 inch tape. And then about, I don't know exactly, we went to mini DV tape.
Oh.
These are all tapes that people could use on their home cameras. And then just a couple of years ago, we went tapeless. So we got a machine to record on now, something other than tape.
Really, a lot of talented people who work on this show. I mean, they got all of them have some background, and then they bring that experience to here to the access station, and I'm very funny about this. We don't have much time, but I'm very funny about this. I feel that access, which gives opportunity for the irregular person to possibly come on the show, but the talent is the camera guys, everybody else, all of them, the guys in the control room there, Jay and others, and Cam, are so talented that they could very easily be doing the same thing at a network television station.
Yeah, imagine so,
Yeah, and I've known many of those people. So anyway, I want to thank you very much, Don, for being the executive producer, and I wish you'd do another 30 or 300 years, you know. Right?
Well, I'll probably be rolling over in whatever they say by then.
Well, I want to thank Don Hammond very much for taking the time out to talk to us about the show. So I want to say goodbye. Thank you, Don, very much. This is Rich Masabny.
We are often lonely, say things like you don't know me. In a dark room, through your house, straps loose, so gloomy. The light trickles, tickles. How can we be vacant, fragments left for taken in a dark room, residence for a temporary stay, that secret mind. The light trickles and it tickles.
And that concludes this week's show. We will be back next week with more news from Arlington. Meanwhile, be careful, be safe, and be well.